This is Saturday, December the 18th, 2021. This is the first of two devotionals. The title of this devotional is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Our scripture reading today, Proverbs 31 and 1 Kings chapter 12. This video devotional, the first of two, is taken from Proverbs 31. Now, the virtuous woman is the subject of Proverbs 31, perhaps the most beloved of all the Proverbs, because it addresses the most central figure in our life apart from our Creator God, and that is one's mother. Now, like chapter 30 of Proverbs, the authorship of Proverbs 31 has been debated down through the centuries. However, I feel there is much about this chapter that commends itself to having been authored by King Solomon. Now, again, I invite you, subscribe to today's devotional and future devotionals by going to heartofashepherd.com, www.heartofashepherd.com. Well, let's begin. Proverbs 31, verse 1, we read the words, literally, the discourse or the law of King Lemuel, the prophecy, the burden, the tribute that his mother taught him, instructed, disciplined, and chastened him. Now, as you look at Proverbs 31 and verse 1, there is no record of a king named Lemuel in ancient Israel or Judah. Many scholars believe that Lemuel might have been a nickname Bathsheba gave to her son Solomon. Now, she having lost her firstborn son in infancy, the one conceived in an act of adultery with David, one can understand why Bathsheba, with this second son, would dedicate Solomon to God, and in her heart name him Lemuel, which means unto God, or dedicated to God. For the sake of our devotional studies in Proverbs, I propose that we view this chapter then as Solomon's memorial to his mother. Now, we're only going to look at the first three verses of Proverbs 31, but I do invite you, always make sure that you read the scripture reading for this day. Now, verse 2 of Proverbs 31 records the queen mother's appeal to her son, and we have it in a threefold question in verse 2. She says, one, the first question, what, my son, or in a more literal sense, what more can I say to you, my son and king? Now, the second question, what, the son of my womb? She reminds the king that she knew him in her womb. Before he even drew his first breath, she gave him life and loves him as no one else could love him. The third question, what, the son of my vows? Like Hannah dedicated her son Samuel, Bathsheba had dedicated her son while he was in her womb. She remembers the first stirring of his life and how she prayed for him. She had dedicated him to serve the Lord. Now, we're not told what moved Bathsheba to make an impassioned plea to her son in Proverbs 31. However, perhaps it was her motherly instinct, sensing the moral dangers that Solomon would face as a king. She knew all too well the temptations that beset a man of power and possessions and popularity. And the plea of the queen mother resonated in her son's heart, and he memorialized her virtuous qualities as an example for all women. Read the rest of Proverbs 31, and you get the sense of the love and adoration that the poet, the king, had for his mother. Someone has said that the greatest moral power in the world is that exercised by a mother over her child. John Quincy Adams, the sixth president of the United States, known for being a godly man, said concerning his mother, all that I am or ever have been in this world, I owe under God to my mother. Now, read the entirety of Proverbs 31 today. It is my prayer that the king's praise of his mother will move husbands, sons, and daughters to thank the Lord for loving mothers and encourage them with words of affirmation and thanksgiving. Finally, in a day that is desperate for a moral compass, I pray there will be mothers who have been inspired by the king's praise in Proverbs 31 and verse 1, the praise of the king for his mother, and you would aspire to the qualities of a virtuous woman. And then enclose it on a personal note. To the two mothers in my life, my mom and my mother-in-law, who is like a mother to me, thank you for your loving sacrifices and your example of Christ-like unconditional love. I hope this devotional has been an encouragement to you. I always ask, would you please take a moment and like it? And by the way, subscribe to heartofashepherd.com. God bless and bye-bye.